Getting lost in the jungle is a truly terrifying experience. Perhaps don't exist and the plants are so dense that it's impossible to see any useful points or reference. All we could do was stroll forward through the wild jungle hoping not to encounter any other giants. My uncle's plan was simple. Since we left the compass in the cave, the only thing to do is trust my famous instinct. Follow me, my young mouse. I'll get us out of this mess. And soon, in fact, we did find a way out of the jungle, but instead of ending up back at our cave, we found ourselves at a beach covered in fossils. I started to lose hope. Would we ever find Hans or return home safe and sound? Uncle, tell me the truth. I said, do you truly believe we will return from the center of the earth once we reach it? Cheese and crackers, Axel. Of course we'll return. We just need patience, nerves of steel, and my famous instinct. We'll make the great crossing once more. We'll get to the other side of the sea and... But there must be another way, I protested. Maybe there's a secret passage that leads to the mouth of the volcano, or a shortcut. My uncle was about to reply, but then he stopped short. Axel, he whispered, stop. Then he pointed to a spot on the ground. There was something shining among the shrubs and fossils, a long skinny shape. Is that a snake? I wondered. My uncle shook his head. No, it seems to be an object. He carefully removed the rocks covering it, and we made a great discovery. It was a dagger. It pointed to the left like an arrow and was a bit rusty. My uncle observed. Prehistoric minds did not have daggers. Are you sure? Of course. Steel didn't exist. Then this weapon comes from a more recent era, I concluded. My uncle nodded. I believe it's a dagger from the 16th century, a weapon that knights carried at their waists during a duel. Petrified provolone. I had 1,000 questions. What was a dagger from centuries ago doing in the middle of the jungle in the center of the earth? Had another traveler like us passed through here? I reached out for it, but my uncle stopped me. Don't touch it. This dagger could be a signal. A signal? From whom? My uncle grumbled. Cheese niblets, nephew. No one comes to mind. This is a dagger from the 16th century. Can you think of anyone from that era who has something to do with our voyage? He must have been referring to Arne Newsom. He lived in the 16th century, right? Right, my uncle smiled. And I think he not only reached this spot but managed to reach the center of the earth. And he kindly left markers from his voyage to point the way to new explorers. A little farther ahead we came across a rock with two large letters carved into it, an A and a S, the initials of Arne Newsom, and below those rocks was an opening into a dark cavern. I cheered. Incredible, you were right, Uncle. Newsom left behind signals for us. He smiled. Yes, my dear Axel. The great scientist decided to help us and pointed the way to the official entrance to the center of the earth. My young mouse, we've done it. I'm sure our efforts will soon be rewarded. Impatient, we went to find our guide. Luck was with us, and we finally found the way back to the cave. Hans had just finished building a new raft using the ruins of the old rafts and the other planks scattered from the area. My uncle told him of our sensational discovery, and we all packed up the raft to sail along the coast to the opening in the rocks. During the trip, I felt full of optimism. How beautiful, I cried. Thanks to this tunnel, we'll reach our destination, and at last, I will be able to return home to my dear Reuben. My uncle dampened my enthusiasm. Don't forget that the tunnel could be very long. We don't know how long it will be to reach the center of the earth. But we'll get there in the end, I said. Come on, there's no time to waste. And so we entered the tunnel with Hans dragging the raft of supplies behind us. Unfortunately, our good cheer didn't last long. Only about 20 feet, just past the entrance, we found that a massive boulder was blocking the whole passageway. My optimism was instantly crushed, and I shouted with rage. For the love of cheese, no! It can't be. Tell me it's not true. My uncle tried to comfort me. Be brave, my young mouse. We'll manage to get through this and continue. But how? We certainly can't break this enormous rock with our tiny pickaxe. My uncle said, there has to be another way. We just have to think. We looked to the left and to the right, up and down, but we couldn't find another way around or through. All three of us were racking our brains, but we were truly stuck.